Welcome to the Fuller Homestead. We're a family of 4 who left the city life behind to pursue a calling on our hearts to raise and grow what we eat while cultivating a life that is intentional, meaningful, and connected to God. I'm Andrea, a homesteading, homeschooling mama of 2. Come join me as I take you into a glimpse of our daily life here on our 40-acre homestead in North Florida. Hey there. We finished school today and I needed to plant peppers, more peppers, because I was a ding dong with my peppers, and I grew them inside for 6 weeks like I was supposed to, and they were beautiful, and they had new, a bunch of new leaves on them, and they got big enough and did amazing. And then I put them outside while I hardened them off for a couple days, outside, inside, so they got used to it. And then I put them out in the bed, and I forgot to turn the sprinkler on. So I planted those babies, and they didn't get watered for 2 days. And I'm shocked that any of them survived, honestly, because it's hot here. It's like 88 today. So I'm surprised that any of them made it. A couple of them did. About half. I lost about half of my peppers. So I'm just planting some more. But it's a beautiful day, and I just wanted to jump on and have you guys plant with me for a minute. Anyway, so I'm outside on the front porch. It's like so nice under the front porch. It's that time of year here that it's not completely unbearable all day long, which it will be very quickly. It's not yet. It is unbearable if you're out in the sun, though. Like, you can't be. So working full time in the garden in the afternoon after school, and all the morning chores get done, there's just no way. So as much as I can do out on the front porch, I try and get done out here, because it's nice and it's in shade and it's still cool and there's a little bit of a breeze. So that's nice. But I'm gonna plant some peppers, and just figured I'd bring y'all along and tell you a little bit about our journey. Yeah, because we're new here, and I don't know, I just figured it would be nice to just kind of explain to y'all who we are, a little bit about us. We're a family of 4. My husband works full-time still, Matt, and he's busy at work, but he comes home and he busts his butt and does as much as he possibly can around here, and we're so blessed to have him. He's single-handedly put in all of our infrastructure. He loves building. Something very satisfying to him, gratifying, gives him a lot of joy. So it's nice because his rest doesn't look like rest, but it is his rest. That's how he rests out here, and he absolutely loves it. I got a hot cup of coffee because I just needed it. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's one of those days Mama just needs the afternoon pick-me-up. So today on my Facebook timeline actually sits a little, these are my peppers. I have all of my seeds. Here, hold that thought. Let me show you how I have my seeds. This is so cool. I got this idea and it just works out really nicely for me. So these are photo boxes, and you can get them on Amazon. They're a little pricey, but they're worth it 100% to be organized. For me, they're absolutely worth it. But so it's just a photo box, and then each of them have like, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 18 little boxes like this in them. And I think I have like 4 or 5 of these, but because it's a little out of control how many seeds I have. But these are loofahs, and they did so good last year. My loofahs grew like crazy, and I have a ton of loofahs. So but anyway, these we actually packed from last year, but it's just a really good way, because if you want to save your seeds, you don't want them to get wet, you want them to be in a controlled environment. So it's just a super good way to organize all of your seeds, and I love it. It works really well. I can just grab the box and see from the top what I have in there, which is really cool. Anyway, so I knew I wanted to get peppers, and I have 2 pepper boxes, so I just pulled them both and brought them right out, which is awesome. Anyway, so like I was saying, a year ago today, actually yesterday, but my post was 2 years ago, sorry, 2 years ago, yesterday, we moved, and started our homesteading journey, which is really crazy to think about that it's already been 2 years, but, we lived on the lake in a lake house before we came here, and we thought it was going to be, you know, forever. Honestly, we thought it was going to be forever. Sorry you can't see it, but I'm just popping little holes in all of these. This is just a little seed tray that I have. These are actually really, really good seed trays. I've been using them now for a year and a half, and they withstand amazingly well. They're from a place called Bootstrap Farmer. I don't have any affiliation to that company whatsoever, but I just really, really love their product. They have a really incredible product. So this seed tray is 72 cells, and then it sits in a little, you know, plastic tray. And these are amazing, and you can bottom water these, which is what I do inside. Bottom water all of my seeds, that way I'm not pouring water on top of them and, you know, harming the seed start at all. But it just sits right inside of there, and I just use actually this, it's called Jolly Gardener seed starting germinating mix. It's right over there. I use that. That's what I start all my seeds in, and I have been growing directly from seeds now for about a year. I haven't bought any starts, which is really cool. It stinks when you forget to water your beauties that you have planted for 6 weeks. That's not really fun, but stuff happens and nobody's perfect. So we just go with the punches, and we'll plant some more peppers, and hopefully they will germinate in time and get out in the garden. We have really hot weather for a very long time and a very long growing season, so we shouldn't have that much of a problem growing out some of these peppers. Anyway, so 2 years ago, yesterday actually, we sold our lake house, and I guess pretty much we just got inspired to do something else, to go a little bit bigger, to do something else, dream bigger, gain freedom, right in 2020, 2021, y'all know what went on then. We were just noticing a lot of things were changing. A lot of restrictions were kind of coming down on everybody, and we didn't like it. And we didn't like the freedom that we were lacking. While we had a beautiful home on a beautiful lake, and we absolutely loved our little slice, we didn't love the restrictions that were being put on us and how boxed in we felt. Coupled with all of that, we lived in an area where it was just growing constantly. I mean, the growth of the city was insane, and it almost became unrecognizable within like a year's time. It just got to the point where it was just busy all the time. You know, I would take the kids to school. We went to a really, really cool community school there where I homeschooled 3 days a week, and they went to school 2 days a week, and it was amazing. Like, that's the one thing that I wish we could have brought with us. I'm homeschooling full-time now, and it's also amazing. I absolutely love it. It's one of the biggest joys of my life, honestly. I'm an educator by trade, so I have 2 degrees in education actually, which obviously leaves me pretty well equipped to homeschool my kids. But even if I didn't have any of that, homeschooling has just been so incredible for us, just so incredible. I'll do more videos and talk all about that, but yeah, so we would go to school, and it was just literally like, I don't know, 7 miles up the road. And it took 30, sometimes 40 minutes because the traffic was just so insane. It was insane. And there were just, you know, red lights everywhere, and it was crazy. So while we had a little slice of paradise we had a lake. We had a very, very small piece of property. So we had a 1/4 acre. It was just really small. We were doing everything we could. We had a chicken coop there on the property, where we had, eggs coming in fresh every day. I had tower gardens, which I still have, and I grew out of them. I also grew a couple raised beds in the backyard, but honestly, our lot was very small, and it was, to the point where we really couldn't do much else for sustainability, and we needed it, and our kids really just, we bought a camper. And we started camping all the time, going on the weekends. And it turned into like, instead of, hey, can we go on the boat and go, tubing or whatever on the weekends, it turned into, can we go camping? Can we go camping? Can we go camping? It was just constant, they just always wanted to go camping. And we were just like, oh my goodness, like, we're in the wrong spot, we need to get some wood somewhere. So that's what we ended up doing. So fast forward 2 years, and we're here, and we absolutely love it. We've got a little bit over 40 acres out here, and it's just green and quiet, and we're in a really small rural community now, and it's amazing. It's amazing. The people are so friendly and so nice and so wonderful, and we can just do so much here, just so much. And we've got this freedom that we never had before, and we get to dig in the dirt, and the kids get to really explore God's land and dig in and know what it's like to cultivate this life that, we put really hard work in, and we get really good stuff back, So right now, what do? My puppy's chewing on like a plant container. It's not a good one, it's just an old one, so I'm just gonna let him chew on it. He's a stinker. He's a livestock guardian dog, and his job is to be outside and guard us, obviously, and he just wants to be inside all the time. I think he's a little broken, but that's okay. We still love him. Anyway, Trooper, what are you doing? What are you doing? So what was I saying? So far, in the 2 years that we've been here, we have, we put a lot of infrastructure in, a lot. The land didn't have any fencing whatsoever, and Matt has a really great friend, and he came up and helped put fencing in. That's what he does for a living. And so we did all of our pasture fencing. We have a lot of animals. We jumped in right away with the animals, and we knew what we wanted. We did a lot of research beforehand, and so we just said, let's just do it. Let's just go with it. So we went ahead, and our first animals that we got were our Kune pigs. We got 5 breeders. We got 2 boys, boars, and 3 gilts, who are now sows because they have had their first litters, and actually we're still waiting on 1 mama to have her first litter, and it's just been so much fun with the pigs. So we got pigs, we got a couple Nigerian dwarf goats, and then we got Clover Jean, and Clover Jean is my Jersey milk cow, and she's my first Jersey milk cow. She's got my heart. I love her. Oh, geez, do I love her. We got her when she turned 16 weeks old. We got her from a farm in North Carolina, and drove her on home, and she has been incredible. We got her right after she was bred at 16 months old, and she's been with us ever since. And so we saw her through her whole pregnancy, her first pregnancy. And coming up in May, like beginning of May, I will have been milking Clover Jean by hand twice a day. Up until recently, I dropped her down to once a day. But I will have been milking her for 1 whole year, which is like so cool. It's the coolest thing ever. Having a dairy cow has always been like a dream of mine. I just thought, how cool would it be to go out and milk your own cow and have your own milk and be able to make your own dairy products. And that's always just been something that I just dreamed about. It was just so cool. And I thought, wow, how awesome is it for those homesteading mamas out there that get to do that? I just thought, what a cool thing. It would be like romantic and just the storybook. And while it has not been a full storybook 100% of the time, because let's be real, how many things are all rainbows and butterflies? For the most part, though, I would say 85 to 90% of the time, it has been a pure joy. I mean, just really a deep, deep joy for me. I absolutely love the time that I spend in my barn. I love it so much that we actually got a second Jersey. We got Hattie. Hattie joined the farm this past October. She joined the farm, and she has since calved. She had a Christmas Eve baby, and that was just like the sweetest thing, big blessing for us. And she's just been a joy also. Hattie has been, she's like our souls connect. Like Hattie and my souls connect. Clover just has a spice for life, and she's crazy. She's crazy Jersey. She kicks and she jumps around and flips her feet up in the air and flips her head back and forth. And not because she's being mean by any means. She's not. She's just loves life. She has like this zest and this like happiness for life, and she just goes crazy and just wants attention, and she just, you know, gets excited about everything. She's really fun. But Hattie's just a gentle giant. She's sweet. She's calm. I could literally lay with Hattie and I would never feel like, you know, threatened. She's just so calm and gentle. She'll gently nudge me, and she wraps me up in a hug with her neck every single night. Clover Jean, not so much. She's a little crazy, but yeah, so we got our Jerseys, and then we welcomed our Dexter herd. So we have a small, it's a very small herd of Dexter cattle for beef, and we got them shortly after we got Clover. So we're coming up on, you know, pushing a year and a half. Like, they've been with us almost 2 years. We'll be pushing 2 years this year. And it's just been really cool with them too. They're a really neat breed of cattle, really neat. They are the smallest full-sized cattle that there are, beef cattle, and they're really cool. They're docile, they're really fun, they're really, really hardy. So they don't need a bunch of stuff. Like, they graze and they're fine. You know, they forage in the woods, graze the land. They're pretty easy to maintain condition. They've been a really good breed, really good breed. Originally we got 5, we got a bull and 4 ladies, and we sold our bull Leroy because he was pretty closely related with a couple of other girls in the herd. And when we sold him, we thought about it for a while. We were like, who do we want? Who do we want to add or bring in or whatever? And we decided to get a white Dexter, mostly just because we love the look of them. They're really cool. And if you saw my last video, I posted about our new baby that dropped. He's so cute and he's doing really, really well. But we got Milky Way, and Milky Way is a white Dexter. All of our cattle are registered. They're all registered stock, so they all have registration, and they're all part of, you know, their different associations. So we've got pure Jerseys, a pure white Dexter bull, and then we have pure American Dexter cattle. Our ladies, our American Dexters, and they're red. So the Dexters originated in Irish. They're Irish breed, Ireland, and they're just a really, really cool cow. Really neat. We like them a lot. We're not as hands-on with them because they're beef. You know, that's what they're here for. So we don't go out and pet them every day. You could if you wanted. You know, I'm sure there's plenty of people who do, but we just kind of let them do their thing. We rotate them through pastures, and they do amazing here, amazing. So since we've been here, Clover Jean had a baby, and she had a baby boy. Hattie had a baby, and she had a boy, another bull, and then 3 of our Dexters calved last year, and 2 of them dropped little bulls, and 1 of them, Sienna, dropped Rowan, who's a little heifer girl, and she's our only girl calf to be born here. I don't know what's going on, but we got something going on in the water or something. We just produce some bulls all the time, which is fine because we've got 4 steers now in our back pasture, and they're getting raised up to be future beef for us, which is really cool. so far we have processed one of our Dexter cattle, and she's in our freezer. Unfortunately, one of the mama's udders detached last year after she had her baby, Lucy, and we just knew that it wouldn't be healthy for her or easy on her. It would be awful, actually, if she had any more calves. And she was 9 years old, pushing 10. And because of that, we just went ahead and processed her and took her to the butcher because, you know, at that point, she's not really doing anything else for us, benefiting us. And that's what our plan is out here, and that's why we're here, is to raise and grow what we eat. A huge reason why we're here. So that's a little bit about us. We've got 2 kids. They're my life, absolute joy of my life. And we've got, our daughter is 7 and our son is 9, and they are just thriving here in ways that we would never ever have guessed. Honestly, they run free on this land day in and day out, day in and day out. I laugh all the time because Noah wakes up in the morning and he brings the dog out to go to the bathroom, and he just goes with him out off the front porch, and it's just the most beautiful, raw, real environment that we could be raising them in. They have learned so much in the last 2 years, but on top of just learning, just growing, living, thriving, just adventuring, you know. This past spring, as soon as the winter kind of cooled, like, you know, just took a little bit of a dip and it wasn't so cold out every day, they started adventuring and going on adventures into the woods. And I let them, because they're getting of age, and they took a walkie-talkie, and we had limits and parameters of where they could go and, you know, what they couldn't pass and all the things. But it was the coolest thing ever, that I'd be, you know, in the kitchen making food or cooking or whatever, and they'd just be like, "Hey Mom, we're in the calf pasture with the cattle, and you wouldn't believe what such and such did." And it was just the sweetest thing, and they've just been really able to explore themselves in a way that I would never have ever even imagined being able to watch them live. We're very rarely inside, honestly, and when we are inside, we are very rarely plugged into any type of screen whatsoever. We go days without turning the TV on. We don't have cable. Haven't had it since we got here. We decided, oh, maybe we'll get it, like we'll just wait a little bit or whatever, and then we just never did, and we just don't need it now. Why? We don't need it. We're outside just all the time, you know. There's always something to do. I've never been so tired in my life, but it's a good tired. It's a tired that just rejuvenates you and fills your soul. Honestly, there's always something to do. There's always a cow to milk. There's always an animal to care for or tend to. Baby chicks are hatching all the time. We've got incubators running full time. About February on, it's like incubator season, so we just run incubators nonstop. Right now we're hatching out turkeys inside, our heritage turkeys, because that's what else we have. We also have some heritage turkeys, and about 2 to 3 months ago, we decided to go ahead and switch over our there's like a creepy lizard / snake, and I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like a skink. It just kind of freaked me out. It's on our downspout right here, and I just, sorry, got a little creeped out. But as long as he's doing his thing and leaving me alone, I'm good to go. So a couple months ago, I decided I'm already crazy enough. I already spend a couple hours a day in the barn milking cows. Why not milk some goats? And we had Nigerian dwarfs, and Nigerian dwarfs are good dairy goats. However, they just don't give you very much, and they're a little bit crazy. You know, they're a little spastic, and they like to run everywhere, and they're a little frantic, and they're not as tame or calm. So I decided I'm going to switch it up a little bit. I want to go with a bigger goat, one that has a little bit more content in her udder, and she'll be able to produce a little more. And so we went with Nubians, and we'll do a video on our Nubians soon. They're amazing. I call them my goatee girls. So I've got 3 does, and they have not kidded yet. They haven't had any babies yet. We are going to put them with the buck. We also got a buck, so we got 3 girls and a buck, and they're completely unrelated, so he can breed them. Bramble was a bottle baby when we got him, and he's growing huge and big, and he's still getting a bottle every day. I don't know what's going on with that, but I can't ever wean the babies. I figure we have all the milk in the world. Let's just give it to him. So we have him, we'll put them together probably beginning of June for some late fall babies. So we're excited about that. And I will start milking the goats. And I have pretty bad eczema. I have my whole entire life. I've done a lot here in changing my diet and changing just things that we, are using in products that we put on our skin and on our clothes and soaps and all of those things. And it has gotten greatly better, so much better. But I really wanted goat milk, to make a couple different cheeses and also to make soap. I'm really excited about making soap with goat milk. So I'm actually taking a class this coming Saturday to teach me how to make soap, which I'm so excited about. So we're gonna do that, and I will start milking the goats and making soap, and it'll just be one more thing that we get to make right here on the land, which will be really, really neat. So instead of Nigerian dwarfs, we now have Nubians. And I think that's about it. We've got tons of chickens, every kind of chicken you can imagine, and heritage breed turkeys, which we absolutely love. Narragansetts, blue slates, and royal palms. And they're all really cool turkeys. We processed some for Thanksgiving last year, and they were phenomenal. I haven't bought grocery store chicken, have not gone shopping for chicken in about 8 months. We are on a rotation processing our chicken now, and it's really starting to dial in really nicely. So haven't bought any chicken from the store in a long time. Beef we haven't bought in a long time because we process Lucy, so we've got a freezer full of beef. Well, it's dwindling quickly, but we do have beef on hand. So pork is the next thing, and we've got 2 little boys that we're raising up for pork also right now. And as soon as we get that dialed in, we're hoping to, expand a little bit here and offer some extras to friends and family and things like that also. So we're excited. It's just been a really, really cool adventure so far. The last 2 years have been so fun, so fulfilling, so soul filling, just life-giving. And man, it has been the biggest blessing. I didn't realize how much we all needed to be here until we were here and we were doing it. And it has just been indescribable. I can't explain it. I can't explain the joy it's brought. I can't explain the freedom, the stress releasing, just, it's hard work. It's so hard. I'm not gonna lie, it's tough. It's tough work. You're tired at the end of the day. You can't wait to get in bed. But it's worth it. Every last second of it is worth it. I'm looking out behind me right now, and I'm just watching cardinals fly into the bush by the barn, and I'm just listening to the crickets and listening to the birds and the peace. This is what God intended for us. I believe it with my whole entire heart, and we're just excited to be here. We really are. So 2 years in, the honeymoon hasn't worn off. We're all just giddy. We're just giddy, planting new things and seeing fruit of our labor, and going out to the berry patch and picking blueberries off of it and eating them. Last night we were in the garden, and the kids just kept grabbing strawberries out of the row and just popping them in their mouth one after the other. And they were so dirty when they came in the house last night. They were just covered in dirt, just covered, hands, feet, all the way in between, everywhere, head to toe. And I just couldn't help but just be thankful and just say thank you so much to God for all of it, So we're living a dream that we didn't even know the extent of. We dreamt it, but we didn't know the extent of it. And here we are living it, and we are being blessed immensely every single day. And we just are so thankful, so incredibly thankful. So welcome to the Fuller Homestead, and we're grateful for y'all to watch, and we hope that we can help teach some things, answer some questions, and just maybe spark passion and spark courage to just go out and do the thing that you've been feeling called to do, feeling led to do, that God's placed on your heart, just to go do it. Because I think a lot of us are just really paralyzed by fear and paralyzed by, the what ifs. Like, what if we make the biggest mistake of our lives? What if we get there and we have no clue what we're doing? What if we get the animals and they all die? Like, what happens? Like, what if, But if you have discernment and God has placed it on your heart, He's going to lead you and He's going to bless you. And we're proof. We're proof of that. So we thank you, and we pray that everybody's well and happy, and we just encourage everybody to go out and pursue it. Do it. Live the dream. We'll see y'all next time.